Warning, 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 warning.
This is a emergency broadcast. Code red, hold on, code red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back on the air once again. Man is finally back to for a Friday Night Live action. We are at 172.
Yeah, is that it?
Yes, it is. 172.
Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, and you've been gone for a little bit, but you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'll be able to talk, but I'm back. But
yeah, you're talking okay, right?
Yeah, I'm okay now.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been having a difficulty with people looking at me face.
Difficulty with people looking at your face?
Especially one person.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, his wife.
Yeah.
He never saw a front buck tooth before, if you know what I mean.
Uncle has had dental issues. Do we want to talk about this at the head of the show, Uncle? Do you want to?
Well, no, not now.
Maybe
by
some
the
other
end
time.
Of the show.
Okay, so
by the end of the show, maybe.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the show. We got more important things to tend to now, don't we?
Oh, we got. I see TJ is on the line.
Yes, JG Michael is here.
JJ Michael
of Parallax Views podcast.
Well, we got a listener right off the bat. Me like this idea.
JG, how you doing?
How are you doing, JG?
Pretty good.
Now, when was the last time that you were here on the Uncle Show, JG?
Yeah.
I can't quite remember.
I think it had to have been back in maybe June or July.
Yeah, but it sounds right. Yeah, it sounds right because I haven't been around it. I've noticed until that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great to have you back.
Glad to have you back.
So what have you been up to, Uncle?
Just like we've been talking.
There's been a lot going on in our world.
That stuff going on. Got me a new job, by the way.
There we go.
I have a new job, but I'm a 90-day probation period, though. I'm my head man is the guy ahead of the yard crew. That was he's my job coach.
Oh, yeah.
And I could be the lucky one, as they say.
You're working more than you have in a while, Uncle.
Well, this work that I'm doing, I've done in the past, but now I can talk about this. But I'm a little rusted on equipment now. Believe it or not, if you can believe that or not, it's true. But,
you're rusty on how to use the microphone, maybe?
No.
Oh, you're talking about the yard equipment.
My yard equipment.
Oh, got it at work. Yes.
And I got told on something about my equipment. Don't bang the equipment. Well, it's because I got aggravated because of a string problem.
Oh, did you start bashing it up a little bit?
Just put it down hard down, and they noticed it. You know,
it's hard not to smash something every now and again.
Well, I got in touch with him. He contacted me, and I tried him to explain why.
JG, do you ever get angry at inanimate objects?
Objects.
I have had that issue. When the computer isn't working, I can get very angry, especially when I'm recording.
Yeah. Well, I got.
See, Uncle? Even JG Michael gets.
Well, I feel like I'm not the only one.
Yeah, there we go. It's good to relate.
Yeah. I have to just figure this.
Boy, we had quite a conversation the previous hour, Uncle. JG and I were talking about. Goodness gracious, we were talking about rich people in bunkers. We were talking about coronavirus.
Yes, talk about that. That's very good concept. They got people going on, but people are not going to be going to school. Kids ain't going to be going to school this coming week.
Yes.
Well, you guys are in what? You guys are in California, right?
Yeah, right.
Southern California.
Now, I'm assuming in Well, are you in a really populated area or?
Yeah, it's less so than Orange County and LA County, but yes, it's still highly populated.
It's got population. Yeah, it's populated in some ways.
I was gonna say, no, go on, Uncle. I'm sorry.
It was right now. Everybody besides is working, but his wife isn't going. He had to be in a home study. My home study with your computer. I call that home study. Not going into work.
Yeah,
that's what I call it. And for right now, it's me and him still going to work.
For now, you're wondering if you won't be going to work soon.
I've been wondering that. Yeah,
I know. Everybody's kind of wondering, like, am I going to keep going to work?
Hey, this is my bounties because we all wash our hands and all. We're doing that, but the question is when.
Oh, it's funny. The apartment that I'm living at, the landlord and all the people that work here, they've literally abandoned the apartments. You can't even get to them during office hours right now because of the coronavirus fears. So,
everybody that runs the complex, is that what you're talking about? Everybody that runs it is gone.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, I
was just sent an email yesterday. They're not going to be in their office hours for I don't know, like maybe 2 weeks. So,
does that mean that you don't have to pay rent?
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be good.
You'd be rent.
If only.
I'm paying rent.
Yeah.
And where's the man at?
But yeah, the school thing is pretty crazy. We just got the word today that the school district here, my son's going to be out of school for 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and so is the little one.
Yeah. I think
I heard about it.
They're forcing everybody in the county to be. I don't know if it's a 3-week time period or what, but all schools, I guess.
I know that you guys have talked about this becoming a bit of a panic and maybe even a hysteria, but I was just talking to Eric Dreitzer of Counterpunch. He was just on my show, and he's from New York, so I can sort of understand why people from New York City or maybe like LA are very, very worried right now because it's so densely populated, especially compared to like somewhere I live, like Pittsburgh. Everyone thinks Pittsburgh's a big city, but it's really not.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, up where his parents live, for example, it isn't bad.
Oh, yeah, that's not the city at all.
That's not no city.
It's a pastoral setting.
Setting for somebody doing something in there. But I'm just saying, like people like you say in New York or Philadelphia, those places would probably eliminate some people. I would think.
I'd like to hear the Amish perspective on the coronavirus.
Yeah, I would like to hear about that.
Because I bet they're free from the hysteria of the media.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure they've heard of it. Yeah, so it'd be very interesting to get their take. I can guarantee it.
Yeah. That would be something. We ever go back there to see for bikes?
We'll ask them about that.
Ask them about it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I just had to go through Amish country in October during a trip to Philadelphia, and it's rather interesting.
Right?
You just go into an Amish town like Lancaster, PA, and horse and buggies everywhere, and you're like, "Whoa, time travel."
Yeah, well, it beats the bikes and using the cars. Some of the people using cars, so why not use them at that time of year?
Yeah, why not?
That time of year.
Yeah, you don't have to rush to the gas station to buy up the last of the remaining gas.
Yeah.
Just use your buggy and your Amish scooter, you're set. Right. Everything's good. That's funny. How often do you get to drive outside of Pittsburgh, JG? Do you get out in the country very often?
I travel when I can. I'll put it that way. But it was very interesting because we were driving to Philadelphia, and right before you get into Amish country, you just pass up this hotel, and they just started it. It's this brand new hotel, the Cartoon Network Hotel, the first Cartoon Network hotel in the country in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Why they put it there, I will never know.
What is the Cartoon Network Hotel?
It is a literal Cartoon Network hotel. They have like a giant swimming pool. You can watch cartoons while you're in the swimming pool off of a big screen TV. Like the whole hotel is decked out with, it feels like you're in Disneyland when you go in. And I was like, why is this here and not like, in a more populated area?
They've got to do special speaking events where like, I don't know, like Tim and Eric show up or something like that. They do stuff like that, right?
Mm.
They just started it like literally like a month or two ago. It just started in January, actually. That's when I went to Philly. We passed it up like I guess it was only open for 14 days when we went. So,
that is.
But
bizarre.
it's so bizarre because you'll find these little tourist attractions, tourist traps that are literally placed in the middle of nowhere. You're like, what?
What town is that in? Do you remember?
I'd have to look it up, but it was just it's bizarre when you're going through the country. Yeah, it's actually in Lancaster. It's within Lancaster city limits. Yeah.
Oh, it's in Lancaster. Oh, okay.
I think my home.
It's like before you get to the Amish country part of that city.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I know Lancaster. Yeah, I've been there. Okay.
Yeah.
That is weird. I love. I get good memories just thinking about driving around on the back highways. Not so much the interstate is horrendous, but the back highways around there. I get good memories.
Again when I was on.
Yeah, you've been. What do you think about driving around back there, Uncle?
That would be nice to walk back and remind me back of my working on a farm.
Oh, sure. You're talking about like in Florida farm.
Yeah. But being like you have, what they have.
Oh, the farm up north in PA. Yeah, plenty of farms around there.
Yeah. There's loads of farms up there. I remember going with his brother. We were going up there. He was lighting up. Hey, let's go get some food. Well, we going back and forth getting the food. I was so interested in the light. Where they don't have light. It's just a light like
the candles.
A candlelight.
Candles, yeah.
I said, whoa, look at this. This is some action.
Action
candlelight. See too much light. You don't have candlelight nowhere.
Now, I'll say this, though, JG. I have the only time I've ever been in Pittsburgh, and you probably know that I'm a native of Pennsylvania. I was born and raised there. But
I did not realize that, no.
Yeah. Central Pennsylvania. I was born on the west shore of the Susquehanna River right near Harrisburg, in a small hospital in Camp Hill. But I've only been to Pittsburgh on a Greyhound bus once. That's the only time I ever made it to Pittsburgh. So I don't know how that happened, but you're the expert there. It seems like an interesting place. I mean, all in all, do you like it in Pittsburgh, or what do you have to say about it? Is it really cool, or it is and isn't, or what's the story there?
I can have a very love-hate relationship with Pittsburgh. When I talk to people from areas like New York and LA, they're always making jabs about Pittsburgh, and that's when I get defensive. Although at the same time, I live in this city where everyone is talking about the Steelers 24/7, and I'm just like, oh, why? I don't care. I do like how literally we live in a part of Pennsylvania, the sort of Allegheny Triangle, where we've literally found a way to butcher the entire English language in what is called Pittsburghese. And I love it. We use the term yins a lot. Yinzers.
Yins, yeah.
Yeah, boy. There you go.
Yeah, I love the dialects. Yeah. Pennsylvania's got some good dialects in it too. Like even from where I'm from in central Pennsylvania, there's a particular one. I'm used to it, so I know the difference. It's I want to say it probably is a mix between the Pittsburghese you're speaking of, and then that eastern Pennsylvania, like Philadelphia accent that like all my relatives
have. He's a Philadelphia fan. Yeah, let me sidekick you.
I've been to Philadelphia. Yeah. As I say, that's where my dad's side of family is from. So
that's
I know that area okay, but Pittsburgh, no. But Yins, I've definitely heard that before.
So not to change topics, but I just realized it's sort of a semi-holiday today. It's Friday the 13th. And I have to ask, Uncle, do you have a favorite Jason Voorhees movie? Favorite Friday the 13th movie?
I figured that was coming up. I'm waiting to see. I've seen them all. I like the first one.
Friday the 13th one? Really?
For some reason.
That's the one where Jason is actually only in it at the end.
Yes.
He's not the second. Spoiler alert. He's not the killer.
Well, wait a minute. Wasn't that the one when the first kid's gone up there and they're playing sort of some kind of game?
Yeah, they're always at that Camp Crystal Lake.
That's
right?
what I was thinking of.
But in that, it's just like there's the story of Jason, and the whole story was he was picked on, and the kids were bad, and so to exact revenge on those bad kids, in the name of Jason, it was actually the mom that was killed.
Oh, yes,
okay,
yes.
I have to
correct
you. I have to go ultra nerd here.
Okay, JG, how am I incorrect? What actually happened?
Okay, now they may have picked on him, but the reason that the killer was upset is because the camp counselors were too busy doing the nasty, knocking boots, that they forgot that Jason was drowning and couldn't swim.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Right, yeah.
That's the one. That's the one. He's on the one I was watching on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one.
So you do like that one?
Yeah.
So you're not... Jason X isn't your favorite. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I've seen them all, and not really, because I saw that one too, where the one got frustrated or scared out.
Yeah.
And was one about, that's the one that I was going to, is what DJ was talking about. Mm-hmm. That's the one.
Yeah.
Jason X is the one where it takes place in space, and he turns into a Power Ranger monster at the end.
That one, I don't think I've seen them all with X, but that one I didn't realize.
There's quite a few, and then there was Freddy versus Jason too. I did see that one actually in the theater. Did you like that one, JG?
Yeah, young.
I'm not as big on it, but that's because Kane Hodder isn't in it, and Kane Hodder is my favorite Jason because I've actually met him, and he's one of the weirdest actors I've met, and I mean that in the most loving way possible. He played Jason like 4 or 5 times, but it was funny because he's a juggalo. Do you guys know what a juggalo is?
Oh, yeah.
And he just pointed to me. And Kane's like a big dude. He's a little bit shorter. Like, he's not like super, super tall or anything, but he's real muscular, real built. And he just points to me and he says, "Are you down with the clown?" And I'm like, "If you say so." I mean, you are Jason, so whatever you say. And then he's like, "Look, this is my kid playing soccer." And he's trying to show me his kid playing soccer on his computer. It was a very interesting moment. But Kane's my boy, so you know, I when they didn't cast him in Freddy vs. Jason, I was like, that is so lame.
Yeah, bummer. Oh man, that's funny.
I like the one where he goes to Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that one too.
That's a good one.
Jason takes Manhattan, but he's only in Manhattan for 20 minutes.
What was the purpose of being on a less review on that, or why he was for 20 minutes, sort of like not like for a longer period of time?
I don't remember it well enough. Yeah,
I was watching that, but I couldn't understand that part. Why? I saw that too. Jason.
Yeah. What happens in that one, JG? Like, why? JG. What's the deal that he's at the camp for longer, right? Isn't that what happens?
No. He's in the camp,
right.
But then he gets on a ship that's headed to New York. So that's how most of it takes place on the ship.
Okay.
There is some chaos in that movie. Someone gets their head punched off in a boxing match. See, my favorite Jason movie is the one all the other Jason heads hate. My favorite is Friday the 13th Part 5, the final chapter, where Jason is not even the killer. And it's awesome. I mean, it's a really sleazy movie, and that's because of the director, Danny Steinman, who I've also met. Danny was an interesting character. But my favorite is part 5. And it's not because Jason isn't really the killer in it. It's just that it's completely bat guano insane.
I got to go back to listen.
I was very careful not to curse there.
Yeah, that was well done.
Yeah, that is much appreciated. But you know that part 5 Jason movie is the sleaziest of them, really.
You know why that is, Chuck?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Here, fun fact: when I was a kid, my favorite series of movies were those Friday the 13th. I loved all kinds of slasher flicks, but I loved Jason Voorhees. I thought it was great. I got very angry when they sent him into outer space, though. I just want you to know. But because you do know Jason went to space too, right?
Yeah, Jason X, where he got to be extreme there, Chuck, and drink Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, when you're extreme, that's what you do. You drink Mountain Dew. So,
I've been listening to this adding commercial talking about that. There was a younger, older man.
If I could.
Yes, JG. What is it?
I wanted to tell a very brief, funny story without getting detailed. I was at a movie convention, and sometimes I work movie conventions. I do staff work and whatnot. It's really beneficial if you want to get free autographs and pictures with celebrities. But I was at this one movie convention, and the director of Friday the 13th Part 5, Danny Steinman, was there. And he wanted to show one of his, how do I put this? Non-Hollywood movies that was very, very sleazy and definitely not a Hollywood movie. And no one really wanted to watch the movie with him in the video room and hear his in-person commentary. And, all the people working the event were like, Danny's going to be really sad and take offense to this. And I just said, oh, I will watch his really sleazy non-Hollywood movie that was made in the 70s. Yeah, I'll go in and watch it with him. And literally, I didn't watch the movie really. I just talked to him for an hour and a half. But it was quite the experience.
Nice. Yeah, way to get in.
I hope you know what I mean by non-Hollywood sleazy movie.
Yeah, I got it.
I caught the meaning of that one.
He gave me a bunch of free stuff though, so that was awesome.
That's very cool. I told you, JG, that I went to the summer camp down the road from where they filmed the first one, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Boy Scout camp that they used in New Jersey is down the road from the camp for the blind kids. So
really,
yeah.
Oh boy!
You know what? What's funny? My favorite Friday the 13th movie. Well, I always say this jokingly to Friday the 13th fans. I always say my favorite Friday the 13th movie is actually The Burning, which isn't even a Friday the 13th movie. It's just a Friday the 13th clone, and it has Jason Alexander. Yes, that Jason Alexander from Seinfeld. George Costanza is in it, and it's great. It's based on the whole legend of Cropsey, who's supposedly this burned figure that I think runs around the woods of Staten Island, terrorizing children.
Gosh!
But it's based off that urban legend, and The Burning is actually better than the original Friday the 13th, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Well, it's like the one though when they were on the beach though with the kids. That was weird. That was fun.
It's also an easy trip through 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon too. Because
everyone always forgets Kevin Bacon was in the first movie.
Bacon was in the first movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Was
Bacon Man.
I shouldn't do that.
That's like how John Larroquette is in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's the narrator. Yeah. He's the narrator at the beginning.
Oh.
You know.
Hey, Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey are in a Texas Chainsaw movie too. And so is Viggo Mortensen.
I bet you.
I love it when you find out these actors.
I bet you
big names are in these crappy horror movies.
I bet you JG Michael is the only guy who could answer this question on the call right now, and probably the only listener that would know this answer. Do you know which alternative radio personality was actually the voice of the Toxic Avenger?
Clyde Lewis.
He does, right off the top of his head. Check it out.
Jason man knows, because if he's been watching him, but you've been watching him over, like JJ over these movies, like my ex-wife used to, my first one.
Oh, all those movies.
Yeah.
Right.
She was into them, and then she got me into them, and that's how I got started.
Yeah. Well, George Costanza was in that movie, but I know that Julia Louis-Dreyfus was in Troll, Do you like Troll, JJ? I imagine
I think I met the producer of Troll, Charles Band. I like the you're talking about the first movie. We're not talking Troll 2. Troll is actually a really fun like kids fantasy movie, I would say. Sonny Bono's in it, and who else? Michael Moriarty. There's a lot of like different actors in that one. I actually think it's a fun little movie. I mean, it's low budget as all get out, but it's a fun little fantasy film. It's got
Harry Potter in it.
It does?
Yeah, like the dad character's name is Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, that's Michael Moriarty. Yeah.
That's him. Yeah.
His name is, but his character's name is Harry Potter. I forgot about that.
Yeah. The character's Harry Potter. No. So all sorts of fun stuff happened in Troll. I'm really a big fan.
And Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the wood nymph in it. She is very attractive in that one.
There's the musical scene where the trolls start singing that song. That's a jamming song. That's a good song.
You know, speaking of cheesy movies, JG, and I know you'd appreciate this. I actually sat down the other day and watched Halloween Part 3.
Halloween Part 3.
Halloween Part 3 is not as bad as people make it out to be.
It's pretty cheesy, JJ. Come on.
It's cheesy, but it's a good horror movie.
No, it's a good idea. It's sort of like, to me, the Joker movie. It would be an interesting movie if it wasn't supposed to be that comic book character. But you know, it's like the Halloween that doesn't belong. Do you know about this, Aaron or Uncle? The Halloween movie that doesn't really belong in the Halloween movie set.
I don't know.
I might have put it.
Halloween Part 3. If I bring it up, I bet you'll remember this. Halloween Part 3 has no Michael Myers, just so you know.
Oh yes, Michael Myers. I've seen him too.
Yeah, but he's not in this one.
Hey, whoa, no. He is in it. He's on the TV screen in the one scene with Tom Atkins when Tom Atkins
listen, JJ, he knows.
See, but he's not part of the story, though, is he?
Wait, you're not in it. Wait a minute.
You're right.
He's not part of the story, though, of the movie at all. He's just a background thing that shows up. There's actually a couple of movies. There's a whole list of movies where Michael Myers is somewhere, either in a depiction as a doll or as a poster and all that. Somebody collected those together on one of those, I don't know, creepypasta things or whatever, and made some connection to some parallel universe or Slender Man. I don't know. It gets confusing. But the thing is that in this movie, it's the Halloween masks that are triggered, and they kill these kids after somebody steals a piece of Stonehenge and starts putting little bits of the rock inside of the tags on these Shamrock Company Halloween masks. But I recently sat down and watched that whole
Silver
movie.
Shamrock. 2 more days till Halloween, which is taken from the London Bridge theme song.
Yes.
London Bridge is falling down. I always liked, the reason I like that one, Chuck, is because I like the idea of like this evil corporation, and this is probably because of my like progressive proggy politics, but I like the idea of an evil corporation being the villain and being like, we're going to sacrifice all your kids to the pagan gods.
See, that was exactly what I was thinking when I was watching it, and I actually thought of you. And I said, I bet you JG likes this, but I didn't like it, and I'll tell you why, because it came out when I was a kid. And I wanted to see more Michael Myers, man. That's why I was mad. It was like a bait and switch. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, I believe it's called. And
you know what's interesting about that movie, Chuck, is it went through multiple rewrites, because initially it was going to be sort of a satirical type movie. And a lot of the movie is actually riffing on Invasion of the Body Snatchers, if you watch it, because the place where Silver Shamrock is located is the same area where the original like 50s Invasion of the Body Snatchers took place. It was supposed to be more of like a parody. It was going to be very lighthearted. I think Joe Dante of Gremlins fame was going to direct it. But then the studio came in and was like, we want a dark slasher movie. So they did all these rewrites, and they put a lot of gore and violence into it. And the original writer for it, Nigel Knill, took his name off of it. He was so angry about it. So it came out being a completely different movie.
Yeah, but I mean, you can tell it's something that was mangled as you watch it. So I don't know, man.
See, my issue with it when I first saw it was, it wasn't that Michael Myers wasn't in it. I was just like, I want more Dr. Loomis because he was so crazy in the first two movies. I remember watching Donald Pleasance's Loomis in the first two, and I'm like, I want more of this dude, even though they killed him in the second one. Although somehow he survives, completely burning up in an explosion in the fourth one. But, and he only has like a little scar on his face after all that. It's weird.
Yeah, he supposedly survives that big explosion. It's a crazy, crazy set of movies, the Halloween movies. And, putting aside Rob Zombie's reboots, of course. But,
you haven't even read the when they were trying to make Halloween 6, the infamous Halloween 6, where they end Halloween 5 with a Man in Black character who breaks Michael Myers out of jail. And when they made that movie, they didn't know who the Man in Black was going to be. So since they didn't know who it was going to be, they're like, we have to figure this out. It took them 6 years to write the movie and figure out who the Man in Black would be. But originally they had a script and Tarantino was going to direct it, where it was Michael Myers and there was going to be like virtual realities, like a virtual reality helmet in it would play a significant role. And you can look up the script for that. I forget what it was called, like Halloween 666. But yeah, the Halloween franchise is really crazy, and it probably would have been crazier if they had virtual reality Michael Myers in it.
Oh yeah. No, the whole thing's wild. But movies, I know Uncle loves to talk about movies, so that's why I figured I'd throw that one in. But good stuff. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Let's see. Nobody's calling in, though. We still have time, guys. About 20 more minutes plus left of the Uncle Show. So 319-527-5016. If you want to join in and, I don't know, tell us about your favorite cheesy movie or talk to Uncle about tools and stuff or buck teeth. Various topics have come up during this part of the show. So there you go. 319-527-5016.
I'm surprised you didn't say that yet.
That's the number. Yeah, I know. I missed that.
I know.
Opportunity.
That's why my boy here has got on the ball.
Yeah.
He's getting good.
That's what.
Chucky's doing it my ways.
Got a great producer there.
Yeah, very good, man.
That's what I get paid for, even though nobody pays me. Thank you.
Yeah. I was just jumping on sidekick on that, then.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Because they hadn't been on it for a while. That's
Uncle, what was the last movie you saw?
Oh, that one?
Anything.
Oh. I think the last, went back to see a couple of them, but I forgot which one it was. But I sort of got into that Joker movie, even though that we did a review on that one. But
yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
But that one sort of got me on the scare side in the beginning.
Yeah, sure. Did you see that movie, JG?
JD, did you see that one?
My friend Leslie Lee from the Struggle Session podcast is going to kill me for saying this, but no, I have not seen Joker.
Oh,
you haven't?
I feel like I'm one of the only people that haven't seen it. The only new movie I've seen that came out recently, it came out in January, was a movie that probably no one listening to this has heard of. The Killer Out of Space, Richard Stanley with Nicolas Cage. That is the only new movie I have seen in like the past few months.
Oh, a new Nicolas Cage movie. That's nice.
Nicolas Cage and an extended cameo by Tommy Chong based off of an H.P. Lovecraft story.
Really?
Oh.
Yes, it's about a Keller that comes in from outer space on an asteroid, but you can't really see the Keller. It's not like it's a Keller that's beyond our spectrum of vision, and it starts just wrecking up this small New England town and altering everything around it, including the people psychologically and physically.
Nice.
Oh man!
So it's sort of like got a body horror type thing and a psychological horror to it as well.
These are crazy movies, I'm telling you.
They're
I
wacky.
mean, goodness, to listen to all these crazy movies, man.
Yeah.
But this something to watch for some people that haven't been watching them. Yeah. But I mean, that's something because of what's going on in the place now.
Now, I don't know if anybody's heard this story, but I brought this up recently. It's about Nick Cage, so I'll bring it up here. He had previously owned the most valuable mansion in Orange County in Newport Beach.
He did?
Before this new one outpriced it. But anyway, it's this fancy mansion, Newport Beach. He had bought it, and he told a story where he woke up from his sleep, like, I don't know if it was his bedroom or where. It was in the house. He woke up and somebody was standing over him naked that he didn't know. And then shortly thereafter, he sold the house. JG, have you heard this story?
Did you hear this story?
I have not heard this story, but I wouldn't be surprised if that may have had to do with some of Nick Cage's personal issues over time. He has a lot of issues with substance abuse, and I know he's had domestic charges on him related to that substance abuse. I hear he's doing much better now. It's weird because people criticize him for no one criticizes him for the domestic abuse and the substance abuse stuff, but everyone goes after him for being a horrible actor. And to be honest, I don't think he's that bad. If he were around hear me out though. Hear me out. If he were around in the 60s or 70s, he would be like a Vincent Price or a Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
And people would be like, "Oh, he's so great." I mean, he's just a hammy actor. Like those old actors like a Vincent Price or a Boris Karloff. It's not that he's necessarily bad. He's just really over the top.
Yeah.
I've liked the ones when he was on. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a spook though, but it was one that he was flying over with the plane. Where he got
Con Air.
Con Air. I sort of got into that one.
Yeah.
That's your baby.
Yeah, I like that one. For
Uncle
some
likes
reason.
airplanes, you know.
Yeah.
You seem to
Like
love
that.
airplanes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah,
That's why that got my attention about that one.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting about what JG just said is if you want to see an example of why it is he's comparing Nicolas Cage to Vincent Price, I'll tell you what, just look up a couple of Edgar Allan Poe poem or book titles, and you see those movies, The Black Cat, for instance.
Oh, yeah. Black Cat. I'm going to see him. Yeah.
And speaking of Boris Karloff, my favorite role, of course, for Boris Karloff is the movie Black Sabbath. Anybody surprised? Probably not. Okay.
You know what? I know Black Sabbath because I love Mario Bava. That's Black Sabbath is like a great Italian horror movie.
It is. Yes, it is.
But he had a move a band of Black Sabbath.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Osbourne.
The band the band is actually named after the movie.
That's what it was.
That's what it
is. I was
is.
wondering.
Yeah, then the band blazed the trails for similar bands that come like the Misfits that played a lot of horror movies. A lot of those themes were in the music. So
Came full circle.
That's what got my
Original names for Black Sabbath included Earth and Polka Tulk, or Polka Turk, depending on who you read it from. But Earth was the name they recorded under before recording under the name Black Sabbath when they changed the name after seeing the movie poster for that particular film. So there you go. Trivia.
Interesting.
Mm.
I did not know that.
Mm. Wow.
I do know that, we were talking about Nicolas Cage. I like
Nicolas
the movie
Cage.
Face Off. I mean, who doesn't like that? I'm Castor Troy. It's good. I mean, it's just fun.
I want to take his face.
For one moment, back to Michael Myers for one moment.
Yeah.
There was this one that I did see where this lady got him stuck in the bottom. I mean, that's the one I did see.
Is this Nick Cage again, or who? What
this was the other one that Jackie J was talking about.
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
Oh, but Michael Myers again. Sure, yeah. Got it. Of course.
Yeah.
You know, there's another Nicolas Cage movie that came out a while back, like 2017. Have you guys seen Mom and Dad?
No. We got to get back to listen to this.
Mom and Dad is a movie. So it's Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair. And I'm just happy that Selma Blair still gets acting roles because I haven't heard her name in ages. But it's basically those two, and then they have their kids, and this mysterious virus happens, and it causes the parents to need to kill their children. So all the children are like running away trying to save themselves. And, it's completely, absolutely bat guano insane. And I mean, Nicolas Cage goes Power Rage angry in it.
Yeah, you want to talk weird Nicolas Cage performances though? What's the one where they put the mask over his head and they fill it with bees? What's that called?
The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man.
Oh yeah, the remake of Wicker Man. I never did watch that one.
Oh my god!
I can't watch it because I love the original too much.
Yeah, the original's good.
So bad.
Oh god.
Well, get ready, people. He's coming in. June.
He'll be here. Get
He'll
ready
be
for
here.
it.
Get ready for that, DJ.
We're counting down
Jay.
already. Who's coming?
You don't know him?
I'm not sure what you mean right now.
Oh, he's
Top
off
Gun?
balance here.
Uh-oh.
Top Gun.
Nicolas Cage
The,
is coming to Age of Transitions.
No. The one coming in June is the one that everybody waiting for.
Oh, are you talking about Top Gun
Talking
2?
about
Top Gun 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. How could we forget?
No, I don't know. I bet DJ, he was listening.
JG, are you
JG,
excited?
you didn't sign about that.
Yeah, Top Gun's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not downplaying it. I'm just saying Top Gun's good.
Oh, yeah. I've been waiting for this one.
It's
The one
almost
after
here.
the one after my birthday.
I'm
my
legitimately interested to see the
How
direction they
does
go, the propaganda they throw in, what they decide to do with that. You know, like the Navy and everybody, and you just with the storyline as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Like, what?
We've been on top of this. We've been on top of this one about him on the Cage, on the one about how it starts with him when he we saw side clips of him.
Yeah, are we talking about Top Gun now?
Top Gun?
Yeah, the trailers.
The trailers.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
I don't know who got into that, don't you?
The trailers are well done. They're doing good with the trailers.
They are doing well. We're going back to him again, but because of the Smokies, we got into the other fellow.
The other fellow. Yeah.
Myers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Hey, quick interruption because we do have a caller on the line. So
go ahead. See if he want to know what he is.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. It looks like a 360 area code. You are on the air with Uncle Aaron and JG Michael.
Hey, Uncle, this is Ed up in the epicenter of the coronavirus, man.
Oh, yeah.
You are in the thick of it.
You're the one of it?
They haven't closed the borders yet. There's talk of it, though. Look out. But, hey, I'm at work again. Here I am doing this. I'm sneaking off in a corner. And how about Bubba Hotep, man? That's my favorite horror show. Anybody see that?
Yes. Yeah.
I love Bubba Hotep. That was written by Joe Lansdale, who's an author I've been trying to get on my own podcast for a long time now. That's one of the most. It's a very touching movie. It's kind of sad because it's It shows how we.
It's got conspiracy stuff in it and everything too. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
the black guy that says he's JFK. He survived and he's in the home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow.
That was Ozzie Davis's. I think his last.
Ozzie
movie.
Davis. Yeah.
And Bruce Campbell.
I'm not even a horror show aficionado. But I have a copy of that film. After I saw it, I had to get one, man.
It's funny.
Have you seen that one, Uncle?
No.
No,
I haven't.
You gotta get your sidekick to get a copy of that for you to see because I think you'll like that one.
Okay, sidekick, you heard him.
I see Uncle liking Bubba Hotep.
I gotta see them.
I saw it once. Isn't Bruce Campbell like an Elvis impersonator in that?
Yes, he's an Elvis impersonator.
Yeah, Elvis survived too. Elvis is still alive and JFK are still alive and they're in a nursing home together.
Yeah.
And there's a mummy. There's a mummy
I
abroad
remember the
killing
mummy.
people.
It's funny.
Yeah.
The director of that movie, Don Coscarelli, has been trying to do Bubba Nosferatu for like years now, like over a decade. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. I know you're not. Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
You know.
But
My
hey,
favorite...
I am at work. I got to run, guys. I'm jumping off. I never hear anybody talk about that movie when you guys go on to the horror movies. So I had to throw my favorite in there. Love you guys. Take care, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Right,
Talk to you again.
Talk again when you
Take care. There you
Thanks
go.
for calling in, Ed.
Right.
Okay, so it doesn't.
I got a
all
side
right,
guy today.
I had another caller there, and they
who
dropped
is he?
off the line. They dropped off the line. Sorry, I was going to interrupt there for another caller, but I lost them. So look, guys, we've only got about 10 minutes left, just so you know. And
boy, time is flying.
Yeah, it's flying. I want to just throw my favorite obscure cheesy movie, one of my very, very favorite ones at JG, and see if he knows it. The movie is called The Stuff. Ever seen it?
I love this stuff. That's the only movie where the director of that movie literally symbolically blows up a McDonald's in that movie. Killer Yogurt. It's the best.
It is. Now
we got to get back. Listen to these. Here.
One more piece of trivia. Which former Saturday Night Live star starred in that movie?
I missed you there. What?
Which former Saturday Night Live TV star also starred in that movie?
You know what?
The one that's usually on, isn't it?
I don't know. Danny Aiello's in it. Abe Vigoda's in it. Brooke Adams is in it. I don't know. I was never a big Saturday Night Live person, though.
What about the main one that's in it?
Joe Piscopo.
The Piscopo.
No. Michael Moriarty was also in it, but Garrett Morris, my friend.
I forgot that. Yeah, doesn't he play? Is Garrett Morris the ice cream Charlie guy or chocolate chip Charlie in it?
He's the guy. I don't know if you remember, but like the guy whose face opens up like a Venus flytrap.
Yeah, no. Yeah. That's chocolate chip Charlie. Also, that movie has a character. I told people when I first saw that movie, I watched it with a bunch of friends one night, and I said, "Oh my gosh, the Paul Sorvino character that has his own militia. That's who Alex Jones based himself on."
You know what? That's a good call right there. That's a good call right there. So, all right. Anyway, about 8 minutes left, guys. I'm going to shut up, and I don't assume we'll get any more callers, but I'll interrupt you if we do.
Like okay, sounds good.
You don't sound like we're getting another one.
Movies on.
Well, we got to.
There's some good ones. You know what I got to say that I feel ashamed for not seeing?
What's that?
Is Scanners. I want to see that because I love Videodrome. So I assume that Scanners is awesome too. What do you have to say about that movie, JG? Is it good or what?
What about that one?
I love Scanners. It's not as
I don't even know.
It's a much more clinical movie than Videodrome, but I like it a lot. And anything David Cronenberg does is great. Also, the director of Scanners, David Cronenberg, also Videodrome. He's actually in a Friday the 13th movie. He's at the beginning of Jason X. He's the one he's the first victim of Jason and Jason X.
He gets the first victim shot down from him?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I love how...
even though I watched them all, I never seen that one.
You guys have got me to go full nerd.
I love how Rick and Morty refer to certain creatures as Cronenbergs, actually. That's pretty funny.
See which ones.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, Rick. You Cronenberged them.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's I love that little sub-reference. Okay, so I had something else to say, and now I've totally forgotten it, but now you're down to about 6 minutes, guys.
Okay, so we're closing out. How about with this end of the show, let's just say thank you, first of all, JG, for hanging out for 2 hours.
William Plus.
Hey, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Before you go, would you like to send any shout-outs?
Shout-outs to anyone.
Any shout-outs?
Yeah,
I always give my first one the episode to talk about them.
Well, shout out to all my listeners and some of the listeners that have been apparently. I noticed a lot of listeners were listening to my Shane Bugby episode and going over to your Twitter, Aaron, and saying, "Oh, get this guy on! Please get him on."
You?
I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, that was cool. I will be inviting him on the show. I listened to that show, by the way. I really enjoyed it. So I listened to your conversation. I liked it. Yeah. So I'll definitely invite him on. I had not known him previously. So
there you go. You listen to him now. Since you got him.
You know what? I'll have to send you his documentary, A Year at the Will. It's all on archive.org. It's very it's fascinating, the sort of journey he went on. I hope people listening to your show will check out that interview. I just interviewed Steven Singular about the stolen election, or what he argues is the stolen election of 2000 with the Hanging Chads. I have interviews coming out with Margaret Kimberly of the Black Agenda Report to talk about her book, Prejudential, Black America and the Presidents. Who else do I have coming on? I have
really quickly. I want to highly suggest that people tune into the J.G. Michael interview with Stephen Singular, because Stephen Singular is a fascinating author, very knowledgeable. And that particular book, I interviewed him about it as well. And I got to tell you, it is, I guarantee you, lightning in a bottle to hear J.G. talking to Stephen Singular. So there you go.
Can I add something to that, Chuck? I was going to say, I think I was the only person that tried to connect Stephen's work on the election 2000 to everything else he's done, because at the beginning of our conversation, I noted that there's a sort of thread that he needles from his first book, Talk to Death, which became the Oliver Stone movie, Talk Radio, going forward into books about the O.J. Simpson case, BTK, and now the 2000 election with the book Stolen Future. So we sort of connect the dots a little bit in that conversation.
Oddly, he's also written about the FLDS situation as well. So, just saying. And I can see how you could run that thread through there too. So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
by the way, my shout outs are the new ones that
shout them out,
haven't gotten on. You know who they are, the new guys that I worked with.
New guys.
I shout out to you guys if you guys are interested to listen to them or have gotten to my old episodes. I'm glad if you did. But somebody did. I know some did.
Shout out to you. And
shout out to you guys.
I'll just shout out to everybody listening to this show and anybody... The folks like Ed that have been listening for a long time. Long-time listeners. Just shout out to everybody, and new listeners.
Yeah,
if you're a new listener, send us a message on Twitter, so tweet us or send us an email or something. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Hey, one more shout out on my end, if I could get it in there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, I just looked on my YouTube. The conversation I mentioned with Professor Harvey K is now up on my YouTube channel. If any of your listeners are unfamiliar with Harvey, I would recommend following him on Twitter. Harvey K, that's Kaye. Harvey's a great guy. His book, Take Hold of Our History, I think would interest anyone, regardless of what their politics are. And I really recommend checking him out and listening to the conversation we had with him.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
All right. Well, again, JG, thanks for being here. Call in anytime, man. It's great to talk to you.
Yeah. Calling in if you want. Seem to be wanting to.
Yeah.
If you want to.
So until next time, I guess we'll say goodbye to you. And then
goodbye to you.
Uncle.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
I don't know. Time has gone by so quickly that we got into him commentate. But we got one other guy that got into a sneak attack. We know who he is, Mr. Eddie.
Mr. Eddie.
I mean, how he got. Yeah, I don't know where he shot, but I don't know. But I've gotten some new guys, but I don't know. We didn't know when my sidekick was going to be back to do a live one, and they're asking. Let me tell you, they've been asking, when are you going to do some more? But that's what they were saying. But
you're talking about these shows.
You sidekick. Oh. When you be able to be back, or we?
People were asking you that.
Yeah.
Really?
Some we're trying to, but they didn't mention it.
Well,
but I know they were coming to ask me that, but they haven't been saying it.
Well, tell them any Friday night.
Yeah.
10 to 11 or 10 to midnight at 11 p.m. midnight Eastern. For this show.
Yeah, but you were saying...
Yes, it's hard for me to do.
And my my good man was working was saying that he may be switching, so I don't know.
Just tell him that there's always a new show premiering on Friday.
There are some new ones coming. I mean...
It's always a new show.
New shows are coming, fellas, but call in like he said. I mean, if you get time.
There you go.
Even Tommy... Tim, what's his name?
Tim Tommy.
Bill. I forgot his name.
Somebody.
I have him on my phone. But I don't know when he's gonna ever call in.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a nice little guy.
There
so I told him, call him in. Tell him come calling, because I say, I do them when there's no, I don't do language on mine, and I think he likes that idea.
All right, Uncle.
Well,
that's gonna do it.
That's gonna do it, I guess.
Is there anything else you want to say, or?
Well, you all know the regular guys are. I mean, that's about it.
Okay.
So
the regular guys that usually call.
Chuck, do you have something to say?
You have something to say, Chuck?
Yeah, so shout out to the regular guys, I guess is what you're saying. And also, UncleThePodcast.com is the website to go to catch this podcast. Just so you know.
That too.
And follow Uncle on Twitter. There's a Twitter account. There's an Instagram account at Uncle the Podcast. So there you go. And with that, the star of the show will say goodnight, I guess. Uncle.
Good night, I guess. I mean, because I haven't heard of course, my boy there has been working on him. Been working on it, but I haven't heard it.
That's it.
That's it. Bye-bye.